Hello, friends. Welcome to Akul Live, and I am Chandrakant. Everyone heard the name Mehul Choksi, and he is right now in the jail of Dominica. A lot of water has flown under the bridge. What has really happened? We have a very interesting personality to discuss this particular case, and he's joining us from Ahmedabad. So, without further ado, let's start our discussion. Welcome back, friends. And to discuss the case of Mr. Mehul Choksi, we have a very interesting personality in the studios, Mr. Jeet Bhatt, who's joining us from Ahmedabad. He's also advocate, practicing lawyer in Ahmedabad High Court. So, Jeet, what is your opinion on this case, which is being fought by Mr. Mehul Choksi against India?
Hello, Chandrakant. Thank you for having me on Legal Matters in your show. And yes, today we are going to discuss a very important issue regarding Mehul Choksi's extradition to India and whether finally he is going to come to India or not any soon. Ultimately, I think he will have to come. But right now, in the interesting events that have happened from 23rd of May 2021, it is going to be very interesting as to how things turn out in the Dominican courts. And there are a series of litigations which have started. So briefly, if I may just give you the background of how Mehul Choksi ended up in being Antigua and Barbudas, is that he's a fugitive Indian businessman and was the owner of Geetanjali Group, which is now bankrupt and under insolvency. But he, along with his nephew Nirav Modi, are wanted by the Indian authorities in the Punjab National Bank scam, which is alleged to be for around rupees 14 crores, where they have duped the public exchequer amount and not paid to the banks. And arrest warrants have also been issued against them, and they are wanted in India for criminal conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, cheating and dishonesty, including delivery of property, corruption and money laundering. So a special money laundering court in March 2018 also issued a non-bailable arrest warrants against Choksi as well as Mr. Nirav Modi. But before this court issuing this non-bailable arrest warrant, in 2017, Mr. Choksi was allowed to travel to Antigua and Barbados, and he applied for their citizenship by investment program. And the Antigua and Barbados country, which is a small Caribbean island on the south of the American continent, provides for this facility on payment of certain amount, which provides for citizenship and residencies. So several other countries also have such similar programs, but Antigua and Barbados is one of the cheapest, where you can avail citizenship by investment program as at the cost of rupees 1 lakh US dollars, which would cost around 73 to 75 lakhs in Indian rupees. So in 75 lakh rupees, if you are getting a citizenship of another country, then this invites a lot of people to avail of these opportunities. And the only benefit that they get is that they get the passport of a country so that they can travel without visa to a lot of countries. But also what it does is that it allows and it encourages these fugitives to run away from country because there are criminal charges which they have to face in the country from which they are running. So by availing of this facility in the country of Antigua and Barbuda, Mehul Choksi got the citizenship of that country in 2018 and left and never returned to India. So first thing is that he was permitted to go in 2017 itself was somehow a laxity on the part of the Indian authorities in permitting him to go, because at that time itself the Geetanjali Group was also not doing very well. So therefore there should have been some flag which should have marked. But in any case, once he left, he claimed to be a citizen of Antigua and Barbuda. So therefore, there is a treaty with regards to extradition. But due to diplomatic pressure, in 2019, the Antigua and Barbuda authorities issued a show cause notice to Mehul Choksi, saying that you have concealed and misrepresented the important material and facts that there were cases against you which were pending in India, and without disclosing it, you have got the citizenship of this country. And they issued this show cause notice as to why we should not rescind or cancel the citizenship that has been awarded to you. Now, this notice was challenged by Mehul Choksi before the concerned high courts in Antigua and Barbados, wherein he got a stay order against extradition. So therefore, till the pendency of that high court litigation, he could not be sent back to India, and that is how he started this litigation, due to which India could not bring him back. But as it was pending, on 23rd of May 2021, reports came that he was abducted and was missing from Antigua and Barbados. Now, there are different events which are being alleged by Choksi and his family, as well as the authorities in Dominica, as well as the authorities in Antigua. And ultimately, it will be tried in the courts of Dominica, and the truth will come out. But still, it is very interesting because on 23rd May, he says he was abducted and he was transferred to the Dominica, which is another Caribbean island around 100-200 kilometers from Antigua and Barbuda. So, whereas his lawyers have said that he was honey trapped, and a woman who was her friend had they wanted to go and have a good time in Dominica, and they left, and he was found there, and he was arrested in Dominica because he was entering that country without any authorization. So illegally entering into the country, he was charged of that crime and arrested in Dominica, and therefore he had filed a bail application in the courts of Dominica saying that he was abducted. And he had not come voluntarily, but he was brought by kidnapping and abducting. And he went to a house of a lady wherein some authorities, including police personnel from Antigua and India, who held him and brought him to a vessel, Coast Guard vessel, and brought him to Dominica. So therefore, he says that his entry is not illegal, but it has been involuntarily brought into Dominica. And Dominican authorities are saying that you have illegally entered into Dominica, and therefore you have committed a crime by entering unauthorizedly in Dominica. So therefore, this case is pending in Dominica, but he filed a habeas corpus petition before the Dominica High Court, alleging that he has been illegally detained in Dominica, and therefore he should be released and sent back to Antigua because he is an Antiguan citizen, and he claims he is not an Indian citizen. Now, Indian authorities have also, the CBI as well as ED, Enforcement Directorate authorities have reached to Dominican courts, and they say that the Indian government has not permitted the surrender of his Indian passport, and therefore he cannot be said to have received Antiguan citizenship unless Indian authorities accept his surrendering of his passport. But be that as it may, the proceedings are right now pending before the Dominican courts, and his bail application was already rejected by the concerned court in Dominica, and also rejected by the High Court of Dominica on the ground that he appears to be a flight risk. So therefore, that itself is a one-step march in ultimately bringing him back to India, because he will now be confined to the judicial custody in Dominica. Now, with regards to Indian authorities already reaching there, they have already produced all the material they have, and they are contending that he has obtained this Antiguan citizenship by fraud, and therefore he should not be considered as an Antiguan citizen, and he has already received a show cause notice for cancelling his citizenship by the Antiguan government. And therefore, he must be sent back to India and not to Antigua. Whereas Mehul Choksi and his lawyers are saying that he's an Antiguan citizenship and he should be sent back to Antigua and Barbuda. But interestingly, the Prime Minister of Antigua is also saying that he should not be brought here, he should be sent back to India. So therefore, there is a very interesting arguments, and even the country where he claims to be citizen is not supporting him. So this is the actual position. Now, ultimately, the trial court will decide whether his entry into Dominica was legal or illegal. and whether he was detained or brought voluntarily, or he had himself he was brought involuntarily or voluntarily. Now, once the trial court decides, then the question of sending him to which country will come. And if it is established that he's rightfully gained the citizenship of Antigua, then he will be sent back to Antigua. Otherwise, he will have to be sent back to India. For only one section which is relevant under the Indian law is Section 9 of the Indian Citizenship Act, as well as Article 9 of the Indian Constitution, which provide that if a person, a citizen of India, receives the citizenship of another country, then he no longer remains a citizen of India. So that is the only section under the Constitution, as well as under the Indian Citizenship Act, which says that if he receives a citizenship of another country, he can no longer remain a citizen of India, and there is no concept of dual citizenship in India. So that is the only argument which goes against India. But I think that also can be covered, because there's an Interpol notice issued, a red corner notice issued against Mr. Choksi by the Interpol. And also there is enough material to suggest that there's a very strong case against him in India. And therefore, ultimately, the Dominican courts will have to decide which country he has to be deported to. So it will be a very interesting litigation and a very interesting judgment developing international law on this issue. And also there is one convention of the United Nations on crime against corruption, wherein both Dominica and India are members. And this also provides for helping and assisting countries who are members of this convention with regards to extradition. So though we do not have a treaty of extradition with Dominica, but still by way of this United Nations Convention, the Dominican countries can, after following the process of extradition, extradite its own citizen or the citizen of another country to the country which is claiming to try him in offenses of corruption. So therefore, it will be very interesting to see what judgment is delivered by the Dominican courts.
Jeet, I think I have a couple of questions, and if you permit, I would like to ask them from the legal standpoint.
Yes, certainly.
Okay, so one of the question is that since he is basically now found in Dominica, and the case prima facie is that he has entered illegally. So my question is that will he be tried for that case for entering illegally first, and he will have to serve the sentence, and then after that he will be brought to India, or can he be brought to India at any point in time? What is the status there?
So yes, Chandrakant, the case against him is for illegal entry into Dominica, and he will be tried. But his defense is that he was not brought there voluntarily. He was rather sent there by capturing him and kidnapping. He was abducted. So on this issue, first there will be a trial whether his defense is correct or not, or whether the ground that he illegally entered was right. So once that is decided that he has illegally entered into Dominica, then the question would be with regards to whether he should be deported back to Antigua or he should be sent to India. But with respect to the sentence, I think in the Dominican courts, they will decide on this issue first, whether he entered legally or illegally, and then where he has to be deported.
All right. So I think the moot question is that when he was actually traveling out of India, he would have definitely traveled without telling anyone that he's actually absconding. I mean, he's planning to abscond. So he would have traveled as an Indian citizen. So the normal process is that you go to immigration, you board your flight wherever you're going, UK or wherever, Frankfurt, and then they will mark disembarkment on your passport. And then when you land in London or somewhere else, you take another flight and go to Antigua. And then in Antigua, you can buy the citizenship by paying $100,000. So that kind of process may not be legal from my understanding, because what has happened here is that you have traveled out of India on an Indian passport, and then subsequently you have done something maliciously, and then you say that I'm not an Indian citizen. So I think that is my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong in understanding this in this manner.
Well, in 2017, it appears that he had already applied for citizenship under the investment program. And I think he was given the citizenship and then he traveled. But even if he has used his Indian passport to travel, at that time he was not a criminal wanted or a non-bailable warrant issued against him or any Interpol notice issued. So that is what happened after he fled the country. So therefore, it would not happen that he would be disembarked immediately at the reaching any other country and he would be sent back to deported to India.
All right, so I think then the case will have to be fought, and maybe he's also very well connected politically, and he's also got a lot of funding behind him. So he may also like to spend money similar to what Mr. Vijay Mallya is also doing. So I think it will be a long drawn process from the legal standpoint, isn't it, Jeet?
Yes, it will be, the process will have to be ultimately reach to its logical conclusion. But I think it would have been a long drawn battle in Antigua and Barbados, because from an Antiguan court, there is a provision of appeal before the Privy Council. So that again would have taken a lot of more time rather than only restricting it to Dominican courts, from which appeals do not go to the Privy Council. So therefore, in a way, I think this would be faster than it would have happened in Antigua.
Well, it depends on the decision taken by the court in Dominica, and that will determine whether India will get his custody or not, isn't it?
Yes, Chandrakant, absolutely. It will depend on the decisions of the Dominican courts.
I wonder, he's such a rich man, and he was living comfortably in a very, paradise kind of situation where there is no worry at all. I wonder how he must be surviving in a third world country, a jail of a third world country with so many dreaded criminals in those jails. I think he must be having a terrible time right now.
Yes, he has also alleged that he has been abused physically, and there are some violence marks on his bodies as well. So yes, but then ultimately he has to be brought to India, and if he is guilty of an offense, then he should be punished, and he should be in Indian jail.
So Jeet, from the legal standpoint, what is we should expect now as a second step? Do you have any opinion on what we should be waiting for, or how much time it will take for him to be brought to India?
Well, the exact time frame I cannot say. Neither am I qualified to speak on the Antiguan laws or the Dominican laws. But I think the process will have to complete before the Dominican courts before we can say when he can come. So the process will take its own time.
All right, Jeet, I think it was a very interesting conversation we had today. Thank you very much for explaining the whole situation, and from the legal standpoint, what is that you think? Because in the end of the day, you are not only a legal man, you are also citizen of India, and you want such culprits to be brought back to law here in India. So we basically keep following the story, and we'll catch up with you next time as things evolve. And thank you very much for joining today.
Thank you, Chandrakant, for having me.